Versatile Mage. Chapter 206 50,000 for one time. Glasses and Vanilla did not expect this mover to be so arrogant. With I-Tutu looking at him from the side, how could they possibly act like they were weak? The magic auras surrounding them did not loosen up even a little bit. Especially Vanilla. At this moment, he was not refined at all. His jacket was floating as a boiling hot aura could be felt from his body. A fire magician. Furthermore, he was actually an intermediate fire magician. No wonder why he dared to be so arrogant. Being able to achieve intermediate level within the Azure campus surely gave them the right to look down on normal students. The issue was Mo Fan a normal student? Who knows where these two guys' dog eyes were looking? They didn't even recognize this great monster, and furthermore, they even dared to brag in front of him. What are you guys doing? Just when their auras were about to collide, Mu Nujiao's solemn voice echoed from the second floor. Vanilla's aura immediately dispersed into nothingness. He looked foolishly at Mu Nujiao in her white cotton dress. Glasses' expression appeared relatively normal. However, the desires that flashed within his eyes betrayed his acting. He looked refined and courteous as he said to Mu Nujiao, "My name is Han Luo. Being able to meet Lady Mu Nujiao here is such an honor. We apologize for accidentally offending you. This kid here is truly a rascal. He dares to say that he lives here. This kid is daydreaming, and he is blaspheming Lady Mu Nujiao. Thus, we wanted to give him a lesson." Their magic auras could be felt easily. The aura that Vanilla let out before had most likely alerted Mu Nujiao, who was in her room, which was why she came out. "That's right. Since he is still speaking to us rudely, Tutu, it is better if you don't interact with people like this in the future," Vanilla added. Mu Nujiao immediately looked at I-Tutu, who was on the side with a package of chips in her hand. She didn't have to guess to know what I-Tutu was up to. Did I-Tutu not know that Mo Fan was indeed living here? "He does indeed live here. The two of you can leave. Don't cause trouble here," Mu Nujiao said. Ha! Glasses and Vanilla were both flabbergasted. It was the legendary co-renting. Mu Nujiao and I-Tutu were actually co-renting with a man. Was the rent too expensive? That's not right. How could the two of them possibly care about this little amount of money? Furthermore, from the idiot outfit, they could clearly see Mo Fan was a poor student. How could he possibly rent such an expensive apartment? There must be a mistake somewhere. The two guys' faces were extremely rich with disbelief. Who cared what kind of strange reason was behind it? Whoever was able to co-rent with Mu Nujiao and I-Tutu only deserved to die. However, the two of them did not want to cause trouble here. That was because they were only here to move things, and the other reason was because they didn't want to leave behind a bad impression on Mu Nujiao. If that is the case, then we will leave first. A misunderstanding. Glasses turned around with a slight smile, his face changing extremely fast. "Hurry up and get lost, you annoying thing." Mo Fan didn't give him face at all. It was a good afternoon, and he had been sleeping extremely comfortably. Suddenly, two dogs came out of nowhere and started to bark. He had lost his good mood. The mouth of Han Luo twitched. Vanilla wanted to get angry, but the two of them ultimately left. As they were leaving, they swept the gaze at Mo Fan with a bit of hatred in their eyes. "Kid, just you wait. Tutu, you're causing trouble again," Mu Nujiao said to I-Tutu right after she saw the two people leave. "Sister Mu, I just thought it was funny. I didn't know that Han Luo and Jia Wenqing would be so ill-mannered." I-Tutu used a potato chip to cover her face as she tried to look innocent. Mo Fan was also speechless at I-Tutu. He glared at her as he said, "Co-renting is co-renting. But I need to agree on 3 things with you." Ha! I-Tutu was puzzled when she heard this. In novels, it would always be the main heroine who would arrogantly force the co-renting guy to agree on 3 rules. How come it was the great demon who said that to her first? This script was not right. I also think we need that. Mu Nujiao nodded her head. She couldn't continue to let I-Tutu cause trouble like this. Bringing in strangers and having them sleep over requires the approval of the other people. Mo Fan immediately extended one finger. You're the one who will bring a guy home to sleep over. I Tutu retorted, fuming. You cannot enter my room, not in any possible circumstances. Mo Fan extended his second finger. Mo Fan had 4 elements to cultivate in total. If I Tutu barged in and caused trouble, then she would most likely see this. This was a secret that Mo Fan did not want anyone knowing. That is also something I want to say. Humph. I Tutu hurled back. Number 3. I know the two of you have the appearance of immortals, and there are numerous people pursuing you. There will be many house flies like those two flying around here. In the future, if you want the handsome and elegant me to act as a shield against them, that's fine. If you call me to chase them away, that's fine as well. However, I will charge a fee, 50,000 RMB. Mo Fan said, why don't you go and rob someone? Also, you're handsome and elegant my ass. I Tutu was already making threatening gestures. Tutu, don't use vulgar language, Mu Nujiao said. He's the one who is being irrational. This is all I've got for now. If I have anything else in the future, I will bring him up. Mo Fan, being a completely honest man, definitely had his own principles. I Tutu was scowling at him from behind. She admitted that she used Mo Fan to chase away the annoying Han Luo and Jia Wenqing. However, Mo Fan started his price at 50,000 RMB. That was a bit too excessive. Being a future roommate, wasn't it his responsibility to chase away flies? Mo Fan, be careful of those two people. They're disciples from relatively powerful aristocratic families. Be careful of them making your life difficult. Mu Nujiao knew that although the two of them looked humble, they were very petty people. Arrogant aristocratic disciples were everywhere, none of them being able to endure anything. A trivial matter. Mo Fan didn't mind. The thing was, there was no activity from the Quashi Hunter Agency. It had been a long time since Mo Fan had fought a monster. If Mo Fan didn't fight for a day or two, his entire body would start to feel unwell. It just so happened that he could use the arrogant disciples from those families to loosen up. Speaking of which, ever since his last time battling Mu Nujiao, Mo Fan had basically not had a fight against magicians. That was not a good thing. The hunter competition also had a part where they battled other people. Great Demon, could you make it cheaper? My allowance is really not much, I Tutu asked in a low voice. You have to trust my specialty. I am able to deal with any kind of case. I can stomp them until I can't stomp them anymore. 50,000 for one time really isn't earning me any money, my lady. Mo Fan was not kidding. At this moment, if he were to take on a mission from the Quashi Hunter Agency, he would get at least 300,000 RMB. With his strength increased, if Mo Fan dared to directly take on an even bigger assignment, that price would be even higher. Humph, this time, doesn't count. It's a service test. How were you able to tell that I wanted to use you to chase the two guys out? They're really annoying. They're terrible backup boys. Unfortunately, they are the children of my parents' friends, so I can't directly turn it into hostility. It's normal. A handsome man like me will always encounter situations similar to this. I Tutu immediately began to chuckle even as she began to curse at his shamelessness. After chatting for a bit, I Tutu suddenly realized that this great demon was nothing as repulsive as the one in the rumors. Furthermore, he seemed to be very entertaining, much more entertaining than those young masters. In that case, should I tell him that there are currently people who are plotting to get together to subdue him? Forget it. Let's watch his performance in the future. If she was content with it, then she'd sneakily tell him about the things that some people wanted to do to him. The people who wanted to subdue him were many. Who told him to offend so many people during the rookie competition? Even the incident at the arena would not be able to completely whitewash his name. Chapter end. Please guys like, comment, share, and subscribe.